Welcome back, everybody. Friday morning edition of Hot Mic off and rolling on Football Friday. You'll hear from Cordell Volson coming up later on in the show about Randy Hedberg's retirement, fellow North Dakotan. That's pretty good stuff. Can't wait for that. That's coming up in about an hour on our show. Really excited to have our next guest on. I'd like to say when things come full circle, because the first time I had him on the show was, 4 years ago. When his son was getting thrust 5 years ago, getting thrust into the starting lineup as a freshman for the Bison football team. And now fast forward to this weekend, he became probably a multimillionaire because of the week he had down at the Senior Bowl. It's great to see Mark Zabel join us, Gray's dad from Mobile, Alabama. What Senior Bowl week has been like. I thought about that before I had you on this morning. Like, boy, when Gray was a freshman getting thrown in to play, and now literally things come full circle here.
Yeah, good morning, Dom. It really has. It's been an exciting week down here in Mobile, and we've tried to take it in and enjoy as much of this as we can. It's been exciting for Gray. He's having a blast down here, just getting to go against some really, really good football players.
What's it been like here to see your son has basically been plastered everywhere? Any NFL draft nerd Twitter account is Gray's getting mentioned in it.
It's a little bit surreal as a parent because it's just, this is a kid we know from growing up, and it's been exciting to say the least.
Just describe for you guys emotion-wise heading in. This is different. It's not a football game. You know, you understand how that plays out. This is totally different. So how did you guys handle the emotions of this week?
I will say as a parent, you're a little bit nervous when you see them lined up out there for the one-and-ones, and there's scouts and general managers and head coaches all standing around watching your son. You're just kind of hoping and praying it goes well for him. But Gray has done amazing this week. We're super proud of him, and he's made a valiant effort. You know, the one thing, it's amazing, Dom, down here, how well respected the North Dakota State football program is. And just with these scouts and coaches, and everyone knows about NDSU football, and that's kudos to everyone that came before Gray that kind of laid that foundation. And, you know, Cordell's, the Codys, the Dylans, all them kids that had success in football. And it's amazing how North Dakota State being a FCS program is so well known with these people down here.
The offensive lineman Bison history at the Senior Bowl is pretty good. Gray's added his name to the list. Was there a moment or a clip you saw or just there in person say, okay, I think he's doing okay?
Yeah, the first day, and as a parent, you never know what the people, the experts are thinking, how he's doing. You're a little concerned that way because you don't understand what they're doing,
right.
Technique wise, as well as the professionals do. But that first practice, Ken was asking me, how's he doing? Well, I think he's doing pretty well, type deal, but it's hard to say, and I just feel like North Dakota State's football program, the coaching staff, the other players, really prepares the Grays, the Codys, the Cordells, all these guys for moments like this. Just teach them the fundamentals. And, that's one of the things Gray said. I just, having to play different positions. He played tackle the last couple of years, and they got him playing at both guard spots and center down here. So he's getting a ton of reps, but he goes, you just fall back on the techniques that have been ingrained into you over the years at NDSU, so by the coaching staff.
Well, that was the fun part to me was watching, I think on Tuesday, the first day they had practice going, and he's just going right down the line of blocking guys at one position. And I think that's what got the NFL Network guys like, boy, he's just going right down, and no one was getting past him.
Yeah, a couple analysts have said Gray Zabel's got more reps down here than any other kid at the Senior Bowl, and Gray wants to go against the best kids every opportunity he gets. He said, it's just my chance to get better going against these really good kids. So he hasn't shied away from anyone that way, and kudos to him.
There was a great moment, I don't know if you saw it, where he literally shook the guy's hand or the defensive lineman before they started their rep, like good luck. Like that never that never happens, right?
No, and we've got to meet a couple of Joshua Farmer from Florida State and Gray have been going back and forth all week, and we met Joshua a couple nights ago, and kind of every time I see him, he's just like, oh, it's fun going against Gray. I love it, and Gray respects him and Joshua respects Gray, and they just love going at each other.
when you see that, I mean, so how are you up in the stands? Like, how close can you get?
We can get down to the front row if we want. We
Okay.
don't get to go on the field. We don't have the credentials, but we can get fairly close to it. So, but I got to admit, as a parent, it's a little bit nerve wracking, Dom, when he's lined up, 1-on-1. And at the end of one of the practices, they bring out one offensive line and one defensive line in the competition period, and everyone's circled around, and
Yeah.
everyone eyes in the stadium are on them. And it's just like, I hope this goes well.
Well, we're just watching one of the reps he had against Farmer there, where again, Gray got him. That's pretty darn good. And that I'm curious of how much either his agent or Gray told you of like what the plan was going into this week.
Well, Gray was mentioned that Jim Nagy had talked to his agent Chase Callahan, talked to him a little bit about, hey, they would like to see you at guard and center,
Yeah.
and at guard and center if you feel comfortable doing it. And Gray's like, I'll play wherever. I don't care. He loves playing football, and this is fun for Gray getting to do this stuff. So
The fun part to me that he never played center at NDSU. He played every other spot. I can't remember. Right? I don't believe he ever got in the game at center. Correct?
I'm not sure that he ever did either, Dom. But I look out. We get there for the first day, and he's out snapping football.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking he's going to play some center here. So
Now,
it's been interesting.
he did play center. Can you give us the backstory in high school with his older brother, with your oldest son? Can you tell us that?
Yes, Dom. He was his sophomore year. Our oldest son Peyton was the quarterback, and we were down in the state championship game. And Gray, our starting center, Gray was playing right tackle for us at the time. Our starting center split the webbing in his fingers, between his fingers, right before halftime. So I didn't know it even happened. They took him to the emergency room to try and stitch up his hand, and Gray comes out of the locker room. We're kind of standing there in the front couple rows, and the team comes out of the locker room after halftime, and Gray looks up, and he's got a big old grin, and he starts slapping his chest. He goes, "Dad, I'm going to be the new center." And I'm thinking to myself, "Oh my God, I don't know if Gray's ever snapped a football in his life." And Peyton's the quarterback, and Tan and I kind of look at each other, and it's just, but he went out, he did amazing, and we got through it and won us our first state championship. So that is exciting.
That's a great story. And now the next time he might be playing centers in the NFL. Can you wrap your mind around that?
No, I can't, Dom.
Yeah.
Realistically, it's reading some of the stuff on social media, and you're just like kind of blown away as a parent. Like, wow.
So now what's ahead? You mentioned they have a big social and everything tonight. What's the lowdown here before the game tomorrow?
The game tomorrow is at 1:30. They have a lot of events going on leading up to them that we can participate in. So it's good, and we get to see Gray a few times. But the game's tomorrow at 1:30. Gray's looking forward to that. So just that's right up his alley, Dom. He loves playing football. That's his true love, and every opportunity he gets a chance, he's looking forward to it. So,
And then it's right back to trading in California. We were visiting off air before he got the invite to the combine, and that's the next on the checklist for. Then to really show. When's the last time he's run a 40? I don't even. When's the last time he's done that?
That's a great question, Tom. Can he run 40 yards? I don't know. But it's going to be exciting. I think the combine is in Indianapolis in the end of February.
Yeah.
So he'll go back to California and train for that with some of his training partners, which is pretty cool. He gets to train with like Jonah Monheim, Josh Connolly, Will Howard's going to be there. Just
Wow.
a lot of pretty cool people spend time with. So then he'll have his pro day after that at NDSU in March. So, I know he's excited to get back to Fargo. So see everyone.
I got to ask, what is this like for you and Tana back in Pierre? What is this since the national championship game and then leading up to this week?
Oh, it's been pretty special, actually. It's just, as parents, it's been so enjoyable. Just the way the season, we're always, when Gray decided to come back to North Dakota State for his last year, it's just like, you pray every game he stays healthy, and it's all worked out so well. Win a national title with his friends, and it don't get any better than that. So
the interesting part, I really appreciate your time here, bud. I know you got to get going here, but just to see this all play out? Like, have you let your mind go to the end of April and the draft yet, or not yet?
Boy, it's it's interesting, Dom. As it gets closer, you think, well, God, maybe he does have a chance to get drafted. So, I mean, it's just it's you don't want to let your mind advance to that yet, but you can't help it as a human being to exciting times hopefully ahead.
The penalty he got in the championship game, is that one you kind of chuckled at, of what happened there with the unnecessary roughness one?
Well, Gray takes playing to the whistle
No doubt.
to an extreme and sometimes through the whistle, and that just kind of been his, yeah. I think he learned well from Cordell and Cody
No
and
doubt.
Dylan and all them guys before. It was kind of ingrained in him that that's the way the Bison play football. So,
Oh man! Before I let you go, do you have a really good Randy Hedberg story of when you heard from Randy during the recruiting process, or when Gray got on campus? Do you have one that you can share?
oh man, we're gonna miss that program's gonna miss Coach Hedberg so much. What a resource of information and knowledge, and the guy's just a true gentleman, Dom. And oh, that program's going to miss him.
Yeah.
All his wealth and knowledge and what he's inspired them, especially the quarterback room. I mean, every one of them guys loves Coach Hedberg. He's pushed them. He's made them better football players, and just the run of quarterbacks that North Dakota State has had the last 10 years rivals most any program in the country. And I think a huge testament to that is to Coach Hedberg. He is just something else.
No doubt about it.
We love him and his wife, so I hope they continue to come to the games and we get to see them. So,
well, the funny part is, for people who don't know, of course, you're still going to be at the games because your youngest son was redshirting this year. So you're not getting rid of Fargo yet. Have you figured out? Have you figured out travel schedule yet for next season?
Oh boy, that's going to be interesting. Maybe the Vikings would draft him or something. That'd make life a lot easier. Just with travel plans, run up to Fargo, then over to Minneapolis for the weekend.
There you go.
Who knows? Who knows? We love the Bison program and what it's done for Gray. Just the coaching staff. We can't say enough about Coach Polisek, Coach Enns, Coach Roll, Coach Dan Larson. I mean, Dan and Gray have been working together for 4 years now, and Gray thinks the world of them, and they're pretty special to our family.
It's great to see you, bud. Thanks so much for the time. Enjoy the heck out of tomorrow. I'll be looking for you on TV, and we'll talk soon, okay?
All right. Thanks, Dom, for having me. Take care.
Mark Zabel, Gray's dad, joining us from Mobile, Alabama, and the Senior Bowl. Again, the game is tomorrow, 1:30 on the NFL Network. We will hear the Practice Player of the Week awards likely when we're on the air. I would anticipate that he would likely win that. And if that's the case, that'd be 3 consecutive times that a Bison has done that when going down to Mobile. Because Watson did it, or 4, sorry, Radens did it, Watson did it, Cody Mauch did it. That's pretty good lineage there. And all those guys, by the way, drafted in the second round of the NFL draft. Good stuff there. We're overdue for a break. We'll take one now. We come back. We'll wrap up our first hour. Big second hour coming up. Brad Schlossman will join us from St. Cloud as UND gets set for a huge weekend with the Huskies. Back on Hot Mic as we roll on after this.